Good afternoon. We are here on Sporters Volleyball Club YouTube channel, live from LUGOGO and TN Arena. My name is Coach Memory Dube, aka Coach Memza, and I'm joined here today by
Najib Senyonga.
Najib, welcome. We are on here, we're watching Kavc men versus police. Kavc are going to be going in red and black, while police are going to be going in blue. Najib, the last time these two teams met, I think that was one of the teams that Kavc easily won a match because Kavc had struggled. That was first round. Kavc had struggled with their first matches where they played bigger teams, and then they met police and they managed to get a win from police. What are your thoughts regarding the game today?
Regardless that you're in the second round of the league, and according to the previous appearances that police has showed up, it has kind of like seems to be like to would have stepped up or pulled up its stockings, because in the previous games we have seen Eli trying to come up and stand up for his team, and probably tried to bring out some good game.
Yes, I agree with you. I think it's basically not only police, but I think all the teams generally this second round have kind of stepped up as well. We saw Sky yesterday when they were playing against Elion. They really played a very good game as well. And yeah, I think it's now showing that the league is progressing. It's showing how teams are all wanting to make it for playoffs, while other teams are all showing that they want to fight the relegation, because I think Police was one of the teams that has been struggling at the bottom of the log, while Kavc is almost close to getting into the playoff zone. So we will wait for the lineups today, and then we will be live coming here. Please do interact with us, and we just want to say thank you for watching. Invite your friends. If you haven't liked our YouTube page, just subscribe to it. Just give us feedback on what you're seeing. Yeah, we are happy to always host you. So something interesting to talk about today, Najib, is that on the side of what you call it, on the side of police, I saw a player who last season was playing for a team as big as Nemo Stars, jersey number 3. Wasa, yes. He seems to be wearing a libero jersey. So I don't know how that's going to work out, because he's wearing a libero jersey. But according to the lineup, it looks like he's playing as a normal player. So I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works. But also for me, one of the things that is interesting is also how do you move from being a middle blocker to a libero. I think maybe outside hitters are the people that we normally see going to liberos.
Probably that may be due to the fact that most people who have who recently joined the volleyball society mostly engage or be tempted to become, should I say, outside hitters, outside attackers, middle blockers. So currently the market for those particularly 3 positions, the middle blocker, opposite and outside attackers, has kind of like increased, and it gets to an advantage of those whom we call them all-purpose players, someone who can probably play various positions. Actually they kind of like get the higher value now, because someone being able to play each and every position he has been allocated to, that's kind of being a blessing to that person.
That's true.
So probably I hope Musa being placed as a normal player here is probably because of his uniqueness and speciality.
Oh yes, definitely. But also other interesting things, not really interesting, but other things to watch out for, considering how this league has been progressing, is the fact that on the side of Kavc, I'm seeing Martin, we know he's one of their old players, one of their veteran players, the setter, and we didn't see him the whole of first round, and we haven't seen him ever since the second round started. In fact, in this season, we haven't seen him, and today he's actually on kit. Do you think he can bring something spectacular coming in today?
In most cases, for players who go off and literally come back on, we usually have what we call unfitness form. So it being that it is just the return
I know. I
of
get
the
you.
veteran,
Yeah.
let us hope, and he's being interested and given a jazz for today. Probably the team believes in him and is expected to bring up some game.
Oh, I get you. I get you. It kind of makes sense what you're saying, though, to say, in as much as he's a veteran player, is he coming in with the right kind of fitness? Okay, we'll live to see. And ladies and gentlemen, there are the lineups. I think no changes for Team KVC. What I mean, no changes is Crispus Kambere going in on that setter position, Rukundo Smith going on opposite. We've seen Smith start ahead of Onapa, though I still think Onapa is a gunman
Yeah.
when it comes to the KVC
Yeah.
team. And then Christopher and the young man Christopher and the young man Bernard are going on the middle. Joel Endra and Ayo Innocent also going on that outside position. I think for me, they always seem to start Joel Endra maybe ahead of the other players,
Yeah.
but he always then ends up on the bench as well, just like Smith. But I think that's the tacticians' choice. And we also see the tactician today is dressed up. That is Charles Nabamba is dressed up today, and it means they have 3 setters actually today.
Yeah, well, we have already seen him on, but at the moment, as we are kicking off the game, we are seeing Shafiq in service. Well, may the good team win.
So Shafiq coming in with that era right there, and Sharifa, the setter there, and on opposite, going opposite with him is David. Sometimes David starts, some other matches he doesn't start, and then in the middle there, he's going to be going outside. We have Opolot together with Opolot getting that first swing right there, and he's going with Brian Atuhaire on that outside position there, even as he goes to sets. And Omar will be the libero. I think he's really been really pushing himself, Omar, in that libero position for Police there. I love teams that will start by running middle. Let me tell you, Najib, for me, it means the teams are ready to play a volleyball match that's interesting. A dump play right there, which shows that, you know what, we can vary the attack. And Police start the set, leading all teams just looking to settle in. So Opolot still on that service line there. Paces that ball to Endra. Endra doesn't pass well, especially when the ball is paced, and they end up giving them a free ball. However, the middle blocker makes an error. Bernard, the young man there. I think it's both teams are sort of testing each other. You can see even their swings, they're not as hard. It's like it looks as if they're two teams who didn't scout each other, who didn't look at how this team plays. So they're saying, okay, instead of then trying to go hard at first, we'll just see how far we can start.
Well, as everything goes on, always it's good to start on a lower pace as still determining the capability of your opponents. And we are starting to witness that according to the observation so far.
Yes, Igune Isaac takes that swing in the middle and scores on it. I honestly am a big fan of teams that play middle, teams that play all combination, teams that present opportunities, setters that present opportunities for all their teammates. Same thing again we see at KVC. Unfortunately, Bernard is picked up on that point. What was the issue with that pipe? It seemed as if it was well read by the blockers there. Is it the setter showing them, or it's the middle moving? I would say the middle is not moving. The middle is showing that I'm actually going to fail. So it means the opponent's middle actually gets to read him.
Of course, depending even on the reception where the ball obviously was, the middle seemed to be a little bit cut off, and the setter only remained with the outside attackers, obviously with the pipe.
Yes,
So
another error right there. So from is it the 3 or 4 points that KBC is already there, 2 service errors from Police. I'm also not a big fan of errors, by the way. You know, I make sure I count the errors because in volleyball, the more errors you make. What a block by Endra. What a block. As I was still trying to talk about errors, and Endra just gives us that block. The middle jumped well with Ezra there, but unfortunately, in trying to challenge what's his name, Endra, thinking, oh, he's short, David went straight onto that block, and now it's 4 apiece.
another error from Police. That is probably.
Rotation foul. It was a rotation foul.
Oh.
Yes, it was a rotation foul. So as the saver was serving, they charged that Ezra moved way too early from the net and ended up in the same line with the setter right there. Confirming middle. Sharif is saying, you know what, if you're going to serve weakly, I'm going to confirm that middle. So 5 apiece, KVC with the opportunity to side out right here, and David saves straight to Ayo, and to the opposite, Smith channels that ball to the line. However, he was in an uncomfortable zone out. David seems to be making a lot of errors even as the set begins here. It might not help his teammates at the moment. So the screen that KVC is setting up seems to be showing really that they want either to put a bit of pressure on those receiver attackers, serving to 5 right there. A good touch, but he also touches the net. That's the short setter, Christmas Day. Sharif doing a good job of serving on that short men block right there. Still, both teams are not going as hard as you would expect. But anyway, this is just the beginning of the game. Isaac Odong was saying, Coach Menza, I got you loud. I got you as well, Isaac Odong. I really miss you, Isaac. Middle confirmed, but unfortunately, middle peaked, and it's gonna be a free ball. What a chase by Ayo, but unfortunately he doesn't get it, and Police get that break point, and they will save again. There seems to be a bit of miscommunication there at the KVC. I think there are 2 balls that I've already seen where the libero Najib is not moving in as expected.
Well, probably that might be a sign of either not being or not training as a team, and that miscommunication amongst the players themselves. So the body language at times fails, more so when you're not engaging in each other. You don't know the strength and the weakness of your fellow player on court.
That's true. I agree with you. I agree. So yeah. Meanwhile, Police will enjoy those communication errors from KVC, even as they lead by 2 points here. Endra tries to dump that ball on Sharif, but Sharif says there's no way through, and that's a 3-point lead right there. That's a 3-point lead right there to Haire. Just serving easy. I think his serves are not paced. I think they're just easy. KVC just needs to calm down, pass those balls, and we see Christmas has also been trying to run the middle, but the middles are not taking those big swings. So they're just getting picked because they've been 2 continuous kills by Christopher, the young man, jersey number 1 from KVC. Another block touch there from team Police blocking Endra. Innocent Ayo. Innocent Ayo right there, going for that swing and going out. A timeout will be called by KVC after that error by Innocent Ayo, and the score is 10-6 in set one. To Police. I think, Najib, for me, I would say KVC needs to really make those big swings, especially on the middle, because the sets that have gone to the middle have been good. The combinations that the setter has been running to that pipe have been good. So honestly, it's the attackers who just have to apply themselves here. And we've seen Indra also being blocked several times. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if the team will understand that the setter is actually doing a great job from what we're seeing here. While Police are getting in there, they're getting those swings, but they're also doing a good job in that defense.
Well, for Police, I think they have just learnt out and adjusted on their service errors, because this can be witnessed on Ataire's service. He's just passing over the ball and positioning it to a particular person, in that they can just continue and bring up that defensive game.
Yeah, it's sometimes good to just play, and let's just play it over, and we trust our defense, and it has paid off. And if you're playing a team that has got so many errors, honestly, why not just cross it over? And they've earned another point just from crossing over the ball. But it also seems to me that the passers are now starting to be a bit tense, because that pass could have been easily gone to zone, but it didn't. So Atuhira still on the service line.
Another dump from the setter, Crispus, making it 6 points to 11. Well, Police is still leading up this game, and we are seeing Joel in service, and who just passes it this off, and KVC is now countering.
And a good swing on Ayo is above Sharif on that swing. Joel is one person who also normally paces that swing. An error there from Opolon, and KVC have reduced that lead that was about a 5-point lead. Now it's only 2 points lead, but also Endra is putting enough service pressure to unsettle them, to make them to be able to set on one zone. Yes, on that zone there could be a short man, but they're able to really set up well. As we can see, that's an ace there for Endra, and now the scores have been reduced. I think head-to-head, honestly, KVC is more an experienced side, Najib, compared to Police. I don't know what you think.
Of course, determining their experience, their level of experience, most of their players have really stepped up to different competitions, and this has probably grown up their game in them. And of course, this also calls back to their technical team. It has really done a great job to them, because they seem to be young players who are really experienced and competitive concerning their level of play that they expose on court.
Oh yes, you're right. And a timeout was called by Police, but now we are going back on, and KVC 1 point behind now, 10-11, and Endra has done a good job on that service. What a dump by David. It goes deep into 6, and there's no one to pick it up. And they finally get that long-awaited inside out that they've been looking, that they failed to get. And we see if KVC is how KVC is going to respond. So Ezra on the service line right there. ball. Let's see how they use it. Will it go to middle? He confirms on Ayo, and Ayo goes on the line. David is in the right position, but he chooses to just say, you know what, I will not die here. And he covers his face right there as KVC takes that side out nice and easy. Bernard Ochan, jersey 17 of KVC, is one of the youngest here. He's only in his senior 6 right now, and he has played for KVC for several years right now. And I'm happy that this year he's really getting a lot of game time. The setter tries to dump that ball, but it goes, it's well read. Backcourt, and they pay for it. I feel like having Ayo in front, the setter should have just taken that ball to Ayo instead of trying to dump it himself.
Well, the setter seemed to have seen some a little bit of space in the middle there. However, he was well read, and Sharif just confirmed it through Atahire in that backcourt in 3. Well, making them, hence making them gain that 13th point. However, they are still struggling on their reception, more especially on their offensive formation, and they've got that error.
Yes, they're looking shaky now on that reception. Ended up sending that ball out as well. While Joel Andre has stepped it up a bit for KVC and is really passing very well. Crispus goes to the service box, and in trying to pace up that ball, he makes an error. Bambale Alex says, I have Crispus at KVC, then Sharif at Poliso, may the best team win. Oh, I understand. To be torn in between two friends. I still am not feeling the connection. I'm not feeling the connection between the KVC middles and their setter. It looks as if the sets are okay, but the middles are struggling for scoring. I don't know if you're noticing that.
That might be, to the matter of fact, like as I said earlier, when a player does not train or train with the club itself, because we have seen Bernard recently. Bernard has been training too much with his high school team. That is standard, of course, and it being that he has been giving time to the high school team and not giving time to the club itself, has also brought up some effect, I guess.
Yeah. Well, maybe, but also Bernard is a left-hander, so the setter might need to realize that Ayo has managed to save, and his team has equalized right now, and it's 14 apiece even in this first set. Police starting to look a bit unsettled, and another rotation error, 2 rotation errors in the set. Other Police BC were taking 3 points home. Yeah, I understand other Police really started well. However, it seems they are sinking. Even the looks on their faces are now worrying, even as they get that rotation foul right there, and it's 15-14. Middle confirmed, net touched, but the ball was also not defended by Sharif, confirming the middle, doing a great job right there, even as the pass really was so good. And it's 15 apiece as Ibune gets that big swing. Isaac Ibune.
Another great block from Hezra there in the middle, shutting down Bernard, making it 16 points to 15. Police has managed to make up their lead, even though it has been deducted to 1 point now. However, we hope for more.
What a set by Crispus Cambere. That one-handed set, it looked as if it was an overpass, but thankfully Smith was there to just compliment him. We've seen them 16, 15, 17. and the setter goes front court, that's the time that they get to put Onapa in. So today the young man Edmond is not around, so probably we'll be expecting either Charles to come in with Onapa or Martin to come in with Onapa. No middle. However, I think Christopher commits too much. I feel like with his height, he just needs to just get his hands up high so that he can go and assist on the outside. Out, and that's a 2-point lead as KVC is struggling to get a side out. Another dump by Innocent Ayo that has been well read, and on the block will fight it off, and KVC ends that point. Atu Haire was beaten there by Smith. Smith is very high up tall, and there comes Onapa. I think it looks like he's coming in for Crispus. I think they want Smith to serve first. It should be a double substitution normally, but they probably want Smith to serve, and then they can substitute and bring in the other setter. I'm not sure that the coach looks comfortable, so it could be Martin. Haire takes a swing on Onapa. What do you think of that?
Haire has really been confirmed 3 balls now consecutively, and of course this proves his confidence and the energy that he has on that ball. Hence making him put back Police in 2 points lead. That's 19-17.
What a block! Ezra enjoying himself right there, and Police have a 3-point lead now.
Well, that's the second block. In fact, it's a second kill from the same person. One block, he shut down Bernard right in the middle. Now he has gone right to Onapa.
Oh yes, that was a very good block. That set is very short. I think that set was very short right there, forcing Crispus to make that error. But as I had said, Martin is on that court, and he comes in and he confirms on that middle, and then unfortunately things don't go well. A dump from I think KVC are not really doping themselves with these dumps. They are not, because Police is just going with the big swings, and the big swings are paying, you know. And we'll see a timeout being called by Coach Charles Nabamba right there. For me, if I was the coach there, I would just go and talk to them about taking those swings. What would you talk to them about?
Well, at times there is a strategy of taking down such a big swing. However, if in case someone goes ahead and doesn't utilize or cover up that space, it gives a chance to the opponent probably to see that gap and literally put all his energy and squeeze it out through that gap. And we have observed this in most of Police's attacks. They have used so much on KVC's blocks, just mere brushing on the block, having block attacks out, and really it has made them a good a number of points in this set. However, we are seeing that Haire still maintaining his service.
Yes, he did that in rotation 2, where he's just crossing the ball, and you can tell that he's just crossing the ball, but KBC failed to get a side out. Now they have that side out. Martin sending that ball to Endra. Endra choosing that line, and he gets to the libero, but unfortunately he's not able to save it. And a side out achieved by Joel Indra right there, who also goes to the service box, and he served well as well. Let's see what happens. Served well, however, they send it middle, and Martin manages to pick. You can see him directing to say where they should set to Onapa. Unfortunately, the ball was a bit too tight, and a good set right there. Okay, they've struggled. Wow, what a rally. What a rally. I am not sure where that ball, if it was in or out, but the ref, because the ball was close to him, he says, you know what, I can see clearly, I'm high up here for a reason, and that ball is out. So Police continue with that 6-point gap, 2 points only to wrap up the set for Police. Onapa also just crosses that ball, and a big swing right there from Police. Police are doing a good job, Najib, on that floor. They're going on that floor, but not on the floor, even on those swings. They're getting the big swings when it matters the most. And substitution right there for middle young man Bernard coming out, and Jacob Odila, a man who has a lot of experience, coming in.
Well, there is an overpass from Onapa, and speaking of Onapa, currently, concerning how he has started this game, he has not yet stepped up to make his way through, because recently we saw him being shut down by Ezra. Now, secondly, also we saw him just right now he has just managed to get that overpass, which has just scored him a point.
Double substitution right there. Chitara coming in for Sharif, and coming in there, and then Odongo, the setter, coming in there as well for David, so that there are 3 attackers, but also high blocks in front. And Jacob making a touch on that one, making it look good. That dump is nicely pinned. And I don't understand how Endra found himself in that position, because the middle was there in that position. I think the middle was from blocking, so it made sense for him to be there. The substitution being reversed right there by Police, and Sharif and David coming back on court. It paid off from that era. KBC have had a lot of errors, while Police have had a lot of good swings. Set is done. Police takes the first set 24-20. Very many errors from KFC. With that net touch by Ayo after that swing. 20-25, Police wraps it up. Yeah. So while we wait to see what happened in this game in terms of the statistics, I think there was very many errors from KBC. Oh, but equally so even from Police.
Well, looking at the stats right there, yeah, it's police which took this first set. And also moving on to the attacks, we are seeing KVC having 6 attacks and 13 to police. Well, this we already witnessed this. It being that most of their attackers failed to put on that energy on the ball. They were just passing over the ball, and right on the blocks they decided to go ups. That's 3-3, and of course on services we have one, and I think that was the ace which came from Endra. And concerning the opponent errors, yeah, we are seeing police having more of these, and this is because as we had started the set, we saw police losing more services, and of course making making it an advantage to KVC. So KVC made only 9 errors to police, and those were probably due to the too much free balls and also the blockouts that they really conveyed in this set. However, we are looking up to the second set, and we are hoping for more. Will police manage to keep up the pace, or will KVC pull up its stockings?
I agree with you. There were so many swings by police, and that made the difference, because even after the defenses, they were converting after that transition to score and convert those points. So I think that was good. Their services were just so simple, and they were crossing them, while KVC, they were not signing out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the second set of this game. And looking on the side of KVC, I think they literally made only one change, leaving 2 changes, in fact, leaving Onapa on court, and also we are seeing Martin on court. On the side of police, I think they have maintained their first lineup, which had really stepped out and brought up a very good game.
Oh yes, the trick is, or the idea, or the scholars say, you don't change a winning team. They looked comfortable, they knew what they're doing, but there's a lot of teamwork that I think you can see. Not that KBC don't have teamwork, but they a lot of teamwork and intention and purpose from the police side. KBC, yes, they may have that teamwork, but also the teamwork has to be put together with the skills and the application as well. So even as we saw, there was quite some miscommunications on the blocking, on picking of those dumps as well. So let's see what changes Martin and Onapa will bring into the game, and let's see how team police maintains to see if they can get away with 3 points in this game.
That was a very great swing from Ayo.
Yes, and he goes to the service box right there. He's normally powerful, and he can pace the ball in terms of the service. Let's see if he gets this one in. And he chooses to just cross it. It goes to the libero middle. The libero picks it up, and a pipe right there. I think we spoke about Martin. He does look like he has some kind of fitness, unless if it's for the start, but he comes in and starts with that pipe there, and it scores, and they are on that lead 2-1.
Huge error made by David. Concerning David, even in the previous set, we saw him failing to convert most of the balls that were given to him on both offensive and his attacks.
I agree with you. He's kind of looking a bit on the low side today, though the team has managed to score. Maybe that's why the coach has kept him, but he is honestly the one who's missing. And an out ball right there by Opolot, even as he tries to get that big swing. For me, I always say it's better to try and get that big swing than for you to dump it and they just transition and they use it to hit you guys hard. Unfortunately, that ball was outside. Martin seems to be playing a big role here in terms of getting the folks together. You can see his energy. He's running to Ayo there to say, you know what, we can do it, even as the lead is a 3-point lead.
Huge attack from Onapa right there.
I know, right? I know. Like, first of all, he's a high jumper. Najib couldn't even comment. He's a high jumper, Najib, right? And while he's high, he also even contacts the ball high. Like, what do you do as someone on the line? But that was a good swing, and that's what we expect. Look, I've said it for me. Honestly, let Onapa start these games.
Well, they're also saying Ayo serving consecutively as Onapa is shutting down David.
And you can feel it, you can see it from them. The energy is back. Onapa is giving them that energy. Martin also is communicating very well. Unfortunately, like we say, David has been struggling, but the service pressure is a lot from Ayo coming in there. And 6-1 even as this set start, and timeout will be called by police. Thank you so much, Betty. Even as you say, let's go police, you're like, thank you, S-Team, for the streaming commentary. You're welcome. Pleasure for us to give you volleyball. I mean, if you can't make it, the volleyball has to come to you. We can't, in this 21st century, we can't be there just crying, oh, I can't be in LUGOGO, therefore I'll miss out on the volleyball. Don't miss out. Just buy your data, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you watch all your games. 1-0 in terms of set police leads, but in this set, Najib, things look like they've turned.
Things have turned around because we are seeing now a fourth service from the same guy who literally at the last moment serves outside, making it an error to police.
I also hadn't noticed that he's stopped floating, actually started jumping. A set to Onapa, unfortunately. Someone communicate and wait. I think it's always good to have your team. Then touch on Endra right there in the oh yes, that was a good call from the ref. Very, very good call to charge that in touch. I'm seeing a bit of forced swings now when it comes to police. I think first set they were doing a good job, Najib, of just trying to get those swings on court. But now I think right now they're sort of like playing a more of a rushed game.
Of course, this is the second set, and of course, we expect all players, most of the players, most especially the leading team, and their bodies are now charged up, their blood pressure is high, and of course, that can be easily witnessed by their body language, that swing, and also
An overpass there finished by Christopher. It says we will use it and we'll use it wisely. And they do look like they're out of sorts right now. But in the first set, that something like this happened, and they regrouped and they did very well. So let's see if they can regroup on and get that pass, because the pass is the one that's failing them.
another huge swing from Onapa, maintaining the lead by 6 points now.
I think, Najib, you are a good fan of Onapa. I mean, I'm also a fan of Onapa, because you are actually not able to comment when he makes those swings. But that's a good swing right there. A good pass in the middle. We'll send it to the middle to David. And Andra has had a lot of net touches. And I think that was a good diagonal zone that David really picked up. One of the few swings that we've seen David have, and it pays off. Mafabi Isa Waliyo, oh my goodness, one person that I've also missed a lot of times. Thank you, Mafabi. You are welcome. We are also happy that we can give people like you who love volleyball and are always away an opportunity to watch. And I know right now you are watching your team and you're supporting them, even as the ref charges an overreach right there. We are not yet sure. Let's see what if overreach. The ball crossed. No one touched the ball. Maybe a point before that we didn't see. But on this point we quite didn't see an overpass. He says the setter played the ball when he's backcourt there. And Kavc ends that point, and you can hear some of the fans shouting Cherops. What does Cherops mean? Me not being Ugandan, I don't understand. I always hear people calling Cherops.
Of course, it's not a Ugandan term also, so me as a Muganda also don't know what it means.
You don't know what Cherops means? I will tell you when we're off screen what I've heard them say it means. Okay, errors coming in back and forth. So they say Cherops when they think maybe most of the times the ref has done something in the point, and it gives a team a point that they were not deserving, or a team gets a point that they were not deserving. Then an error happens on the other side, especially when they're trying to say, then they say Cherops. Andra doesn't quite get that side out as the gap decreases there from 6 points to 3 points. So many net touches. Thank you, Arthur, a son of Anthony. Thank you so much for watching. I thought I saw a carry right there, but from where I am, maybe the refs will not see it. Yeah, but the play continues. The swing, another net touch right there. So Kavc really struggling getting that side out a ball, and we are down from a 6-point lead to 2-point lead, even as David just easily just crosses that ball. The net touch are there on Martin Kalema. Nemanyata Michael, you should have joined the side out group, Side Out Africa, but through the Sporters channel. We were talking to the local organizing committee midweek, and they were talking about how ready is Uganda to host these games. So maybe if you're able to look up our YouTube page and look at the video that was done midweek, you're going to find all that information, even as we were getting updates about the readiness of us as a country. I'm sure they did touch on something about the indoor.
big swing from Innocent there, and we've seen police trying to bring to make a step back, to make a comeback by inducing in those big swings. However, I think KVC also renovated its defensive and offensive game because now they are being able to convert those big swings into opportunities which can easily make them all lead them to scoring points.
Another miscommunication there from KVC. However, they managed to, and a swing is out. The swing is way out, right there by Atuhairi. And we see him shaking his head, trying to say, oh, maybe ref, maybe it was in, maybe the ball was too speedy, you didn't see it. But the ref says, no, the ball was out. And KVC stretches that lead to 5 points again. A good swing now again from Atuhairi. Onapa was there. Unfortunately, the ball could not go up, but that was a good set considering that that ball had not been passed well by David right there. And for me, that's what I call big swings. When someone is able to convert a ball that was off system and they score from it. The KVC libero seems to be stable today. Ayo just using those hands of Sharif.
Of course, it just took an advantage. Like it being that Sharif is a setter, and the height also matters, and he just had to go through him, and unfortunately he used his hands off.
Yeah. So Okello saying that one is not a carry. Unfortunately, if the person uses their fingers, it is a carry. But I think the position of the ref he didn't see. So from where I am on the commentary box, you can see the fingers moving. If the ball is hit by the hard part of the hand, it's not a carry. I understand what you mean, but also maybe if you notice the fingers moved a bit, but it doesn't really matter much because you know what? Referees will not see all points. All points. So it's actually quite acceptable for one to be missed. And that is the game of volleyball. So 10-14 is the score, while Police leads 1-0. Onapa goes out of bounds on that swing, bringing that score difference to 3, and Ezra will go back to the service box. We saw Martin trying to dump that ball. However, he was well read, but I don't understand how he tried to dump it. Also, even he has Innocent Ayo on front court, and Innocent Ayo. That's an ace. And the gap will reduce to 2.
Well, I really think that Ezra today is really on because whenever he steps on court, he really shows some good vibe and good energy on court. His efforts are really being helpful on scoring points here as they're closing up the gap to 2 points now.
Oh yes, this is the second time that he's gone to the service box actually, and they've closed down that gap because we saw earlier when the set began it was 6-1, 7-2, and he went to that service box and they saved well. Timeout called by KVC probably to talk about the miscommunications, to talk about the lack of side out that they are having.
Yes.
12-14 it is as Ezra continues with those good services, and Ayo will swing, and it will be easily picked by David, and a pipe that doesn't cross by Atu Haire. I think Atu Haire is coming in with a bit of errors here and there. Are you noticing that?
That has been his first error in the backcourt in 3, because his first backcourt actually, it was really well taken up, and it actually scored them a point. So I thought Martin just tried to confirm him again. Sharif just tried to confirm him again. Well, I did go well. However, we are seeing Opolot turning out this swing and converting it into a point, making it 13-15 now. Well, Sharif is now moving in the service, and let's hope he can also make something from there.
Yes, and I see maybe what has caused a bit of upset on the KVC side is that their middles are not converting. So it's now easy for them to be able to block their outsiders. As you can see, they are really ganging up on them, while for them, they are not able to their outsiders are not able to block. And we see that good attack right there, but David going that long diagonal, and it has earned them a big point, because that point gap has been reduced.
Well, he finally decided at least to put all what he had right to Endra, because in the recent occasions he has been being shut down consecutively. But however, he has managed to at least go through that one, and we are seeing another great block from
an error right there, and KVC are back on top, and they're leading. Even as Ayo, who also has had a big service run, goes to the service box. As we say it, you get that. It's like they're hearing us talk to them. We speak about Ezra, he gets those service run, and we speak about Ayo, then he gets an ace. I honestly feel like the young man Bernard, jersey 17 from KVC, the middle is struggling today. I don't know your thoughts.
Well, Bernard seems to be a little bit down, as you've said. However, he might be useful as he tries to make a block touch on that, and Onapa converts that into a very big swing, hence making them their 18th point.
Yeah, fortunately, when I was just speaking about how often Izzy was like, no, coach, I'm getting block touches that my team can use to transition. Sharif still running that middle, running those pipe, getting those good combinations. However, the gap is on again. I feel like they really need to continue to pass well the side of now we see right there.
Well, Ayo, I think today is a very good day on behalf of Ayo, because whenever he goes in the service position, he at least makes a minimum of 2 to 3 points whenever he goes there, and this is really a very good game for him.
Indeed, it is. Him and Ezra are having a good day, but together with Sharif, the setter, I think Sharif is really doing a great job for his team. I think most of the times that we've seen KVC managing to score, it's mostly because of the passing department, mainly Atu Haire, who they seem to have to target. And then we say David was low, but he seems to also have stepped up. Unfortunately, the aces that Ayo has forced have not helped them. The gap is now back to 4 points. So you see they've now removed Opolot from the passing, and they've put their opposite, who's in front court, to the passing. Let's see how Sharif decides to side out. I think we've seen in the game of volleyball evolve having opposites who people used to say they are not passing. Nowadays, they can be put on to pass. Some teams do play that. I know big teams like the USA, they have Anderson, who's an opposite passing as well. So it's no surprise that we're seeing here David going to the passing lineup, to the passing zone as well. Innocent Ayo errors right there after the timeout, where we'll be thinking maybe a player is going to calm down and get that ball over.
A very huge swing from Andra, making them their 20th point. Of course, KVC seems to have really managed this, and you know, it has kept its consistency on court now.
Seems to me that's like a forced side out. Get it? Like there was no way to go, but
Yeah.
you could tell that he was like, you know what, I will need this point so much. Middle. Sharif has said, that's my game. I'm going to run middle until cows come home. And it pays off. And we see Ezra going in to block while Mbule goes to that service box. And with a 3-point gap, it's 17-20. Side out achieved. He didn't put much power on that attack. Unfortunately, the blockers went up too high, and you know that the forearms can't really block as well as the palms, and that's how that ball manages to go through to the side of Police. 21-17 is the scoreline.
Well, looking up at the comments there, we are seeing Sempera Joseph Mary saying that thank you for the broadcast. However, I think this is the coach for Mulago. Yeah, Mulago VC. Well, thank you, coach. Those comments, those huge comments you guys bring out to us, they are the ones which motivate us and you know, keep us going, and also add up the efforts.
Substitution has been made. Odongo has come in to serve and says to Ayo, and Chris tries to get his side out again and does not achieve it. And Ayo, Endra is stealing those. That's what I call stealing those. So he gets his arms out and the block is showing his hands, and he goes to try and pushing that ball. It's not really attacking it hard, but just trying to push it in. But we've seen KBC middles really struggling. And I'm also wondering what has happened to the floor defense of Police. Remember, they were having a lot of good defenses.
Well, Police, as it has happened before, they have this on and off switch game that they have in themselves. At times they switch off, at times after switching off they come back. However, today KVC has managed to put them down totally. Every time they're trying to step up, KVC keeps on shutting them down.
That's true. In this set, definitely we are seeing that happen a lot of times, where they try to come up but KVC stay where you are. But the errors of KVC are also not good. And Chris finally gets that swing. Christopher gets that swing. I like the fact that Martin is insisting to give these young boys that swing. So Police is really being tested here.
Looking up, a big swing, of course, results from a very big reception, and of course, we have seen Endra with that beautiful overpass. Talking of Endra, I really like this man because he's a really confident guy, calm on court, and obviously does what comes first in his mind.
Bulgaria, who came in to substitute David, has been picked up. He came in on that double substitution which doesn't manage to get that side out. And it's a set point on set two for KAVC. I am a bit worried, especially for police, about the passing department, but also about those big swings that they were taking, all off-system balls. They seem to have lost that confidence. While KVC really has just changed and reducing on those errors, and Onapa has come in and stabilized on that side out that we knew that KVC was struggling with side out. And it's a wrap on this set. KVC takes it 25-19. So it's a 1-1 on sets. Police took first set 25-20, and KVC has taken the second set 25-19.
Looking out at the stats right now, the set scores are now 1-1, and looking at the attacks, KVC has multiplied its attacks. In the previous set 1, KVC only had 6 attacks in the whole set. However, this time around it has really multiplied them by 2 probably. And looking at police, which had the most attacks in the first set, this time it has only managed to come up with 8 attacks on blocks. KVC has managed to take on 2, and police going low with 1. Remember, in the recent set they had only 3 blocks. And on services, of course, we have seen good services from Ayo in this set and Endra. So they have managed to come out with 2 ace services, and of course, police also managed to come out with 1. Of course, this one was from the one and only Ezra. And looking up at opponent errors, police has still got 9 errors, as KVC managed to reduce its errors to 7, and of course this is an improvement, and probably we expect more and more in the third set. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for this third set of this match, and seeing on the lineups there, Kavc has maintained his recent lineup for set 2, and looking at the side of police here, they have also maintained their first lineup. They have really maintained this lineup since the first set till now. Is the reigning lineup. Let's hope this time round police may step up and improve and also clear out the little things which are really going wrong currently, the technicalities. And well, let us just look up to the third set.
We are still live. Sorry for that small loss of coverage. We are live. Third set Kavc versus Police, and Martin giving the ball to Ayo, who has really done well on those big swings, coming up with those big swings in terms of that ball was defended by Endra, who was not aware he defended the ball. What a good defense right there from team Kavc. All right, we're back, and it is 3-2 for Police. Police really trying to pick themselves up from set 2, even as they've taken the big 2 swings. Unfortunately, David comes up with that error on the service. It's going to be 3 of us. Bernard Ochen, the young man on the service box, he also tends to serve very well, but today I haven't seen him putting on so much service pressure. And there goes and serves out. I'm wondering, is it because maybe Jacob hasn't had enough training time, but also the other young man who's on the middle blocker, who's on outside, Swanley, hasn't had time? because they've insisted on Bernard, but I think his contribution really hasn't been much for his team today.
Bernard is a person who kind of like can contain the pressure of the game. However much he makes errors on court, but at least he doesn't get taken up or eaten up by those few errors that he makes. He tries to calm himself down and at least communicate with his fellows on court.
Yes, I think his teammates also have learned to really support him as a young man who's coming up. But I think what you've said really makes sense, and it makes a big difference as compared to maybe where you will start to have someone who will be panicking in the game right there. And finally, we get a block from Christopher, shutting down the middles right there. And it's Ezra who's been shutting down, as he has been really doing everything well. And we've seen Police, whenever they get scored or blocked, their morale has been tending to go down. So let's see, is it still a 1-point game? What happens? Onapa tries to roll that ball and rolls it onto the net, in unforced error. And Andra has done a good job again, Najib, on those passing and then coming in again for that side out. So he passes and Martin then sets him up as well, and he's done very well even as he hit those speedy sets. But also Sharif, on the other hand, has done a very good job on those combinations. But I think we could be missing a bit of that pipe attack from Police.
In the previous set, they tried to bring up the pipe attack. However, it only made them 1 point. When they tried to consecutively kind of like confirm it, it could only result into errors. So probably I think the setter, Sharif, just cut the pipe attack off budget in this set.
And I'm sure also with the pass that had gone wrong, it also became difficult for them to keep running that pipe attack.
And Coach Memza, I think we have not been looking at something, but the numbers are a little bit starting to increase. Or is it like the fans' numbers are really starting to increase? Is it because that we have the next incoming games are really fire here? We're having Indeje versus KCCA, and then lastly we're having what we call the Clash of the Champions. That is Nemosters versus Sportes Volleyball Club.
Honestly, I was looking at that, Najib. Like right now, I was looking at. I was like, okay, the people are here. But yeah, it's a good thing for our sport as well, Najib, to see people showing up, especially considering that nowadays there's a small fee that pays that the federation gains. It's a good thing to know that people are appreciating our sport. People are coming up to watch, But also, it's a good thing to know that we also have other people watching online. That's the growth of sport. So yeah, if you're making your way, make your way. If you're not, stay tuned. We'll be broadcasting live, even as Bernard gets a blocker, So yeah, all the fun and all the action. I mean, if I could come back from my Sunday church activities, what can stop me from just chilling and watching some good volleyball? 9-6, Kavc are leading in this set.
Well, first time out for Team Police. Well, I think it's a well-deserved time out because Police started this game in a lead, but however, tables keep on changing, cables keep on turning for Kavc, leading up this set by 3 points.
I think the other, bigger thing that we really should give to Coach Joel from Police, he's done a great job in assembling this team and making sure that nowadays they look like they might be losing games, but they look like they're intent in the way they apply themselves. Even as that substitution comes on, Odomo has substituted Sharif directly. I think the coach is saying, you know what, I'm needing a taller setter, and probably there's a few other things that the coach wants to introduce. That ball is on court there, even as the setter Odongo just puts it up for Okonoch there. And Daniel Mota says left, right is missing in center. My KBC, here we go. Thank you, Daniel, for watching from all the way. Do you remember Daniel, the South Sudanese guy who hits with both hands? Yeah, he's really been missing in action this season. That's a quick wrist. That's a
Very quick wrist.
Yeah, quick wrist right there. And he tends to score well when he goes to the line. Yeah, I'd love to see what he does when he goes diagonal right there. 10-7 is the score. And David is still on court as the opposite there. However, there's been a change in setter.
Another rotational foul.
Surely, how many rotation fouls can you have in one game at this level? I think they really need to think about that. They need to think about how they organize their team before they receive, because is this like the fifth?
It's the 53rd rotation foul. However, should we say that this is due to the newly updated rules that have been signed, which are kind of confusing them all? But however, we should not rely on that too much, because concerning the serving side, I think it's when these rules affect mostly. But as long as we've been served, I really think these rules remain normal, like the previous rules that we've been having.
They were not changed. So here the setter is on 6, right? So he was apparently on the same line. I'm not sure if he was on the same line with the libero instead of being on one spot, or instead of being with the player on 5. So he was like with the player in 5. So we see them telling the player in 5 to say, don't move. And net charge being charged right there on Atuhaire. I think Atuhaire is looking a bit frustrated. Yeah, he hasn't played as well as he played the first set.
Well, he has really come up with multiple errors now, and we are seeing him being awarded a yellow card due to that indiscipline action he has shown to the second referee.
So KVC makes that lead 5. Yeah, it does look like they are really quietening the police side here, KVC. Things are really going well, but we still see a lot of people still moving in, carrying in their drinks. It's a good thing that people are up to wait for these games that are going to be here, with the biggest of it all being Nemo Stars versus Sporters. Nemo Stars national championships, and then Sporters, obviously the defending champions of this league. All right, so substitution done. I think, like I said, Atuhaire looked like he was really a bit defeated, so they have taken him out, and on there comes Eli. Gertrude says just inquiring for the next game. The next game is KCCA men versus Ndeje Airlights, the men's team. All your action will be broadcasted live from MTN Arena. We spoke about the side outs from Innocent Ayonaji. What do you think? He's able to take a swing when it's worth it. He's able to vary and duck that ball when he thinks there is no defense just behind the block. I think he's having a beautiful day. He's able to go out onto that service box and get those big aces.
I think Ayo here is trying to really utilize his, should I say, his fitness or his game today. It being that he's really on a high game today, high peak. I think he's utilizing the matter of fact that he can literally do anything. He can literally see the space. He can literally observe and know where am I supposed to use the energy and where am I not supposed to do so. So literally, he's really taking an advantage and taking very good use about his level today.
Yeah, the pace of the game is also kind of reduced. It's from a game that was action-packed, now it's to a game that it's okay-ish, but it feels a bit boring. It feels like one side is like giving up, yet they still have some players who are showing that intention, but some of the players are not really showing intention. At the same time, KVC is still giving us unforced errors. Ayo fails to serve, Endra has gone on the net. It's giving vibes of a game that is going up, down, up, down.
However, that only shows that each and every team is only trying to put back the game back in their control, because KVC is trying to just take it all, take full control over the game. Police is also trying at least to step on KVC's brakes, telling it that calm down, it's our game. However, it seems not to be coming out as planned, since Onap has just pinned it in deep six right there, and no one could really reach out there.
Yeah, he's also come in and he's shown that he's on form, honestly. He's come in and stepped out big for his team in this game. And those dumps they picked up easily by net touch by Odongo, the setter who has been introduced right there. But we've also been seeing the middles from Police a bit in, and I like their game in first third, but right now I'm not really seeing them a lot. I'm not sure. Could it say that the past, could we say the setters have forgotten them?
Probably there is no blame. No one should be blamed on this game, because it's really so observative. Because if you depend on the pass, it's really a little bit like it's stretching out the setter. The middle is being cut off by this pass according to how the setter reaches it out. So yeah, he's probably left out with only two options for both the outside attackers. And remember, they are already shut down their backcourt in three. So probably nothing could be adjusted on this. And of course, on the looks of Odong right there, just seeming to be confused on what is really happening, trying to vibe up the team, calling for more receptions. However, it's not really converting.
Yes. And while all that is happening, Martin is seemingly running his middles. They are not high, strong attackers, but he's really trying to confirm and giving them those balls.
Substitution here. We are seeing Masaba coming in for Ezra. Well, a free ball from Onapa here, who seemed not to contact the ball very well, has really resulted into problems on side of KVC, as Police scores its 13th point in this set. However, KVC still reigns as the leaders of this set with 16 points. It being that Police has managed to convey 2 points consecutively, KVC has called for their timeout.
Yeah, and the dumps that they've tried getting Runapa right there, and the even Gapet that Indra tried seemed like they didn't quite work. And even despite the defenses that they got, you will see there that it didn't work, and Police has closed in on that gap. I think also the KVC coach has been doing a great job. Actually, both coaches, it feels to me they've been calling out the timeout at the right times. And every time they call the timeouts, I think for both the teams, the timeouts have really sort of worked. We've seen Ayo missed a save, and the other side, I think it was Ezra missing a save. So the timeouts have been timed. Both those coaches know what they're doing. They're able to correct. And also the tempo of the game is, like I said, it's starting to go up again. Isaac Odongo saying, come on guys, we need this. Maybe for those of you who don't know, Isaac Odongo, former OBB, belongs to KVC now. From, was that Masaba? No, it wasn't Masaba. Masaba was from saving from
Opalot.
From Opalot, and it goes out. Ezra on, back on, and Masaba goes out, and the libero will come on. I think those were that was a good service run by Masaba.
Block touch from KVC, that is through Ayo, which has made Police's 14th point. However, you're seeing Odonke in service.
Martin celebrating.
It seems
enjoying that point there. However, the first ref says they both touched the net. The ref says, I will not take that. I'm the first ref. So this point will be replayed. I think it kind of had a psychological effect on them, in that they did not argue for this point. The second ref is charged, but somehow the first ref also decides to change that point. And now that point that we've seen that was a 6 point is now 2 point lead. And that swing goes out right there from the middle. I think he's moving a bit slowly, even as Odongo is just putting those serves on court. He's not rushing them, he's just putting them on court. Emmanuel Aliabu says, let's go KVC. Also another, I don't know if to say a KVC player or former KVC player, but he's definitely from KVC as well. Christopher on the service line. 18-16 it is for KVC. Police have stepped up, even as they get that error from Christopher. Christopher normally gets those several errors, but it's a big point, very, very big point for Police, because the lead has been reduced to 1 point right there. Even as Igune goes to serve. Off system, good pickup. Onapa sends it in a good zone for Ayo, who goes all the way in and gets that side out. I think it's going to be a good side out game to watch, considering the 2-point difference.
KVC has really tried to keep it up. It's trying to really keep up its 3-point lead. As we're seeing now, they have started to play a point-per-point game. Huge block from Bernard right there in the middle. The young man who really can control his emotion status has really managed to utilize his hands and give his team that huge block right in the middle.
Oh yes, you spoke about it this night, Jim. You said he's a calm young man, and we see it here. He doesn't easily get disturbed, and he gets another block as well. Though it's continuous, but it has resulted in a free ball that has given his opportunity for his team to score. Unfortunately, Ayo wanted to go deep and hit it very hard. Unfortunately, he gets blocked, and Police are going to regroup right there. But that was a good block from Police. Save right there. Will it go to Onapa? And is high up in his scores. I think the block for David is going way to the antenna, and in that regard he leaves Onapa that diagonal, and we know that Onapa is good on that diagonal. Onapa is good on that diagonal, so he chooses that diagonal. Let's see what the response becomes, even as the 3-point gap stays. Oh, the pass has gone to all sides. It's going to be a free ball. Unfortunately for Police, they could not convert that ball. They could not side out, and results in good transition from that defense by KVC. Coach Joel calling in Ezra to just have 22-18 in set 3. And they've scored very well, by the way, from that pipe. They've scored very well. The block touches it, but it gets they don't touch it well so that it can be covered. And this time around, it was Ellie who scored it. Even as David goes to that service box. So it's a huge ask, 3 points, but who knows, nowadays service pressure can really help teams. Ayo was well placed in that 6 zone. Ezra left a bit of the seam. Did you notice the block did not quite join well the outside and the middle, and that's the space that Onapa used. I think we've missed a lot of blocks from Police.
Lots of blocks have been missed. However, there have been also now many block touches. However, the block touches were not utilized or converted very well by Police, hence resulting into those errors.
Timeout called by Coach Joel there, and we are not able to hear what he's explaining, but we can see he's explaining something about blocking Onapa right there, because even his hands are showing. Back from timeout, Bernard still on the service box, and Ezra is in front, the setter is in front, and I think Ellie right there is also in front, but they've been also running a good backcourt in terms of the pipe, and we haven't seen much of David again.
Well, David has really tried now to only provide the team with some blocks. and defenses, of course.
Ellie seems to be struggling. I know they made that substitution because Atuhaire was also a bit struggling, but I think Ellie, in terms of managing Onapa, is failing because there were some wrong touches when Atuhaire was involved.
Well, it being that he has just been substituted in, you never know. He might not. I think he has just not yet caught up with the pace of the game, or even adopted that game reading that he needs to adopt, because already some men here are already fired up.
Oh yes, and we see there when they defended well, unfortunately the set didn't go well, but however they managed to get a block. They managed to get a block right there, and they wrap up at the set 25-19, and it's 2-1 to set. I must say the introduction of Onapa starting has really changed the game for KFC. It has really given a huge task in terms of what to do for police. They seem not to be finding a solution for Onapa and IO as well. Saying give all balls to Onapa, and yes, we've seen the last 3 balls have gone to Onapa, and he has really hit them well. He has hit them hard, but also now because there's no one who can actually block him well, police needs to find a solution. Police may need to bring back that middle. They may need to bring back that pass actually, because there are only 2 people in KVC who are serving them hard.
Well, in terms of reception, they might be actually just passing over the balls to them. However, the game has been tense and the pressure is high. It can also result into, over-focusing on the game, over-focusing on that pass also can result into faults in passing over the ball to the setter. We're looking at the stats here. KVC has managed to win this set the same way it won the second set. That is 25 points to 19. And on attacks, it has only increased by 2 attacks on the side of KVC. And the usual set it was 14 attacks. In this set, KVC is having 16 attacks. Police has also added up only 1 point upon its attacks. They have managed to come up with only 9 points, 9 attacks in this set. For blocks, KVC has increased its blocks by 3. Remember, they had 2 blocks in the recent set, and police has also managed to increase its blocks by probably 2, since they had only 1 in the recent set. For services, no one has managed to ace another. And concerning the opponent's errors, KVC has continued reducing its errors to now 4. However, police is also now at 7 opponent errors. Sorry about the opponent errors. I think KVC has only made 4 opponent errors, and police has made 7 opponent errors. We are glad having you all for those who are live, and we are looking forward to the 4th set. Will police manage to step up, or KVC, or will KVC manage to seal up this game? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this fourth set of this National League match. That is Police versus KVC. On the starting lineup on this set, we are seeing KVC still maintaining its lineup for the third set. However, Police has also kept up its lineup, which has managed to start the game since the first set till now.
And Bernard has managed now to read well those middles in terms of that block.
Big swing from Mopolot, who has managed to place this ball right in position 5.
Big swing, blocks tried. Unfortunately, it was not enough. That block ended up going out. I think it had so much power that the attackers did not manage to try and turn that block to get it on court. And Ayo goes to the service box. Sharif is back on the setting. And the block is out again from Endra. So Sharif went down on that ball, and we could hear the KVC crying foul. But I feel like that was a good setting position for him, because he went down and the ball remained above his shoulders, above his forehead.
Another wise point made by Endra here, who is really able to, adjust and also convert those emergency sets, off-system sets probably, making it 2-2 in this set.
Yes, and we have men down there, David, who seems to be looking at Endra, saying maybe you might have stepped on me. Sometimes when a blocker and attackers are not careful, they might just go over the other side. So yeah, men down right there, the scores are 2-2. Gets back on court right there, limping.
A well-deserved point for Team KVC. I think this has resulted from a very good defense from the young man Bernard over there, who has actually started to step up and putting up all these efforts that he had in this set, which has really helped his team to come up with the third point of this set.
In fact, Najib, he started from the third set. Him coming up with two right there, even though now he has done a service, but we've seen and the minute, and then now we're seeing the digs again. I think that's a positive for Team KVC. On the other hand, Police are also seemingly holding on. However, it feels to me they've lost to High Ray. They put him off and they got Ellie. Ellie couldn't manage Onapa, and they brought him back again. And Andra keeps trying to run that away that he.
A wise dump from police there. However, this point is to blame on behalf of Andra, who had already kind of like given up due to the chanting and the noise made by the side of police, who thought that it was a carry from Onapa.
I think the ref, or possibly why the ref didn't touch that it was the first touch. It was like coming from the opposite side. It was not as safe. I think that's why the ref didn't charge. And we saw Andra losing concentration of that ball, and that resulted in a score for police. The libero choosing to dunk right there. I'm honestly wondering what solution do you think they have to come up with in able to stop Onapa from going high above that block?
I think this is a formation used by the technical team of Kavc, putting Onapa off for the first few points in the first set. I think they first read this game. And by the time Onapa comes on court, he knows what to do and what not to do. So obviously, if a person comes organized in that way, he has a lot of ideas and objectives to use against his opponents. However, he has come up with that service error, which has managed to put police in a lead of 5-4 of set 4.
Yeah, he has done those several times, like that jump serve. Yet again, I think he's one of the people with a very good float serve. I mean, if he paces up that jump serve, it's equally good. However, if he has made a lot of errors, I mean, why not resort to that float serve? Atuhaire again, he's struggling, Najib. Maybe they should have just gave Eli, seeing that Eli had not played the 3 sets, and they put him towards the end of the 3rd set. Maybe they should have just left him to try that. Clearly, even Atuhaire's face shows that, you know what, it's not happening for me, and I'm getting a bit frustrated, you know, and one of the things that I'm noticing also is that they've actually changed, and they put in David and Atuhaire. They've changed that position. So Atuhaire is now coming in, not as a coming in
as an opposite.
So on that line, find Napa standing, and he misses getting that point. What a pick by Andra, one hand, but police will get that chance again. And this time around, he goes easily above, and he gets that point. And that is Opolot, one person who we've seen really trying to work hard for Team Police today. Nowadays, we see a lot of coaches talking to the referees. I mean, the volleyball that I know, as someone who's also a coach, I know that coaches are not allowed to talk to referees. It's only the captain. But not here. Coaches seem to want to have an influence. Police on that driver's seat right now. Rocks coming in. They shut down Ayo, who was trying to get that transition, but I would say that was a rash decision by the setter to give him after picking up that ball. But Police really working very well on reading that.
Service error from Sharif there, killing off their lead by now. I think 1 point. Yeah, it's now 8-7. Well, we are seeing Martin here in service for KVC. Onapa there. Onapa there. The real fact that Coach, you told me that, like, I like this man. The fact is, the only reason why I can't stop saying his name is, like, even if he makes an error, either a service error or an attack error, he doesn't take off the energy of the ball. He comes up boldly up and puts that ball in his wrist. Over where does it go? He doesn't just give a damn. As long as the energy is there and he just keeps on being motivated, he just keeps on asking for the balls from the setter.
That's true, and you need that in players. Net touch right there on Bernard. I think he fouled too hard, even as that error was done. Yeah, what you're saying about Onapa really makes sense. He will use his energy through and through. But then there are times where most often, maybe in the previous season, this season he's been going with power. You would see him just going slow. But today he's like, you know what, I'm going to go all the way. And it has helped his team. It has helped him as well. The libero was found not ready for that ball because I don't think that was a very hard ball.
Yeah.
And they still have a side out advantage, that is 2 points to get those points, to get to that 1 point lead. I believe that ball was also going out as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but whichever way, there was a touch on it and they'll end the point. Even as Igune goes to that service block. Igune and Ezra have been worryingly quiet as well for middles, not to run so much. Surely you can't expect a team to win if their middles are not getting those balls, if their middles are not taking those swings. And there goes Onapa again. Unfortunately, this time he's well read. Endra with that net touch, and it gives Police 2 points. Police are back into the lead. Let's see, when we go to 5 sets, will Team KVC stop this point run that Police is having?
Good swing from Bernard here, who is kept on motivated by his teammates.
Feels like Martin said, you know what, I'm tired of you, Onapa. I'm tired of you, Endra. You know, I'm just going to give Bernard whatever happens. And it paid off, man. He's the middle. If the other middle doesn't read it well, especially considering that he's been setting outside, it means the block thought, oh, we're going to go outside, and they caught unaware in that side out achieved by KVC. But also the pass for Police seems to be stabilized as well. So that's why you see those middle sets running for Sharif.
Wow. A beautiful touch from Sharif there resulted into a off-system set, which definitely went to David, who pinned it right in front of, right in the middle of the court. That's what I can say.
Oh yes, he went very high, very high. I think there's too much complaining that we are hearing, but also the refs are a bit lenient today when it comes to those double touches. We could see from here that the ball was rolling. But for me, it's always good if the ref doesn't do it for both sides, because earlier on KVC also had a ball that was like that and they didn't charge it. So at least for me, it's fair and square as of right now.
David seems to be to be a little bit charged up on this game now, as he keeps on his big swings, really coming up one after another, and being able to keep up his team in the 2 points lead.
Surely this is the weakest block. I mean, there's Christopher, who's already not a strong blocker, but there's also Endra and Martin, the setter, in front court. And I think they've chosen not to go to Endra's side, and they've chosen to use the other side. And that's a pick right there. None other than Atu Haile on those areas. I mean, pardon us, Atu Haile, but we personally think his errors have been too many. His team is working so hard to pick up the ball, but he's also working so hard to cane those balls on the net. Ayo protesting, they're saying, ref, I did not touch the net. I was not even close to the net. But yeah, it is what it is. The ref is charged, and it's going to be a point for Police. And this set seems to be tied. Police wants a share of the cake as well. They're saying, you know what, we know you want to qualify for playoffs, but we also want to get off the relegation zone. So it's a good matchup, yeah?
Yeah, it's a really great matchup because many teams which are at the bottom of the table, that is Sky and Police, I guess they're really now struggling. Serie struggling to really come out because yesterday we saw Sky also fighting hard with Elion, and now Police is also now fighting hard with Kavc to really keep up their position in this Serie, that is Serie A of the National League.
Yeah, Christopher finally coming in with that big swing right there. But for me, sometimes, Najib, it's the approach that a player has when they're going for that attack. And even as you are here on the commentary box, but I'm sure even out there you can almost be certain that, you know what, this is going to score. And then sometimes you see a certain set out there and you look at someone's approach and like, no. Sadly, for Kavc, they look like they don't know what happened, but I think Police is enjoying noticing that Martin is going way too much on the antenna, and they're just going to go that diagonal, and they're not even putting a lot of power except the few swings that David had, which is a good strategy. If you see that there's a weak blocker, just keep using that zone.
An ace here from Sharif, which went direct to Endra, who literally failed to receive that.
Oh yes, Team Police saying, you know what, we are not going home yet. We need to go home with something, and that's the volleyball that we kind of want to watch. That's the volleyball we want our subscribers to watch, and timeout will be called by Kavc, and Kavc is also obviously needing these 3 points, but Police also needs these 3 points. That ball called out.
Defense, guys, defense.
and police are gonna go 4-4-4 until the blocks work on that 4 side. They're gonna run their attacks through that 4-4 position, and it's paying off. So why not? I think there must be an issue with the scoreboard. It should be 18-14 there for. Is finally running. We might be going to 5. I'm not sure, but right now the scores are 19-15 in favor of police with that last attack by Sharif to Ikune as they are making a big statement. Substitution there, Endra is going to come out and Smith is going to come in as the other receiving player there. But also Jacob is on for Bernard. So let's see what happens with those 2 substitutions. And Smith gets his first point, and it's going to be a side out achieved. So we will just wait and see how KVC will try to close that gap, and we'll also wait how police intend to end the set in their goal level with the KVC and go for that 5th set. Net touch called even as Smith comes in and manages to block that 4-ball net touch called right there. And 2016 is the scoreboard. Okay. 1v1. What a monster block by David to take his team to 21-16 right there. Crucial point for Team Police right there, even as KVC wanted that side out to close the gap, and substitution, Martin out and Christmas coming in right there. I think KVC are in trouble. Police are fired up. Like after they stepped on David's toe, he was like, you know what, you can't step on me, man. One young man that I always wonder why he doesn't get a lot of game time. Of course, lately he has been getting game time as the opposite starting. We saw him starting the first set ahead of Onapa. But I always felt like in such times they should quickly think about what they've just done for him to come in early for Edra, because he's also agile. He can play all positions, and we're seeing he had a block, and now we're seeing he's hit that attack as well.
That was a very huge swing from David, but eventually it went out, giving room for Onapa to continue with his reign of service as they're trying to catch up with a lead, police lead. Well, police also says no throughout Haire, who manages to get that block touch which was actually on court, continuing with their 4 points lead. It's now 22 points to 18.
Yeah, and interestingly, like I told you, that Onapa is a good floater. You saw the 2 services he floated, and David goes to that service box, even as they have a good and comfortable lead. But Ayo and Smith fight for that pass, but the setter says, you know what, I see space there. That's Crispus Kambere getting himself on the scoring board. Someone says, good work, Coach Memza. Well, I have seen that before, and the game is now going on for too long, the good work game. But anyway, thank you so much, Shadri. A good touch right there. The chase doesn't come out well, and we can see Onapa screaming as Police goes one step ahead. Points from wrapping up the set. Musaba will come in to serve for Ezra. I don't think Sepa is a better setter, actually. I mean, maybe Musaba is a better setter, but I think in this game, Ezra has really served well. He's the one who's actually opened up this game even more.
Yeah.
Confirmed to Onapa, and Onapa will do justice to that. Will that be enough to take KBC to levels even as Police need a side out and a block, or a side out and an ace, or a side out and a side out. 19-23 are the points.
Well, Sharif tried to go through that middle with Iguni. However, he was shut down. Definitely shut down, which has actually resulted into a timeout for Team Police to probably cool down KVC, which had managed or started actually to close up this points lead. Let's hope the timeout, gets effective for Team Police, because KVC needs this. KVC feels like it needs all the 3 points in its pockets. However, Police also feels like at least let us go into onto table and we start managing for these 3 points. We see who goes with what.
Back on court there. I'm suspecting maybe for defense, but let's see if first Christopher will cross that ball. But then there are a lot of side out options because Crispus is a front court right now.
Service error from Christopher here. He didn't actually allow Coach Memza to complete her statements.
Oh, he didn't. I was about to go to say that he's actually not a strong saver. Maybe they didn't think about getting a saver for him, but we saw it there. We saw it coming there.
Comfortable win. Actually, it's not comfortable. It has been a really fantastic set, but Police has managed to take up this set by 25 points to 21, and this has put them on the budget of really sharing these 3 points. However, each team now has managed to earn one point on the 3 points. Now we are looking up to the 5th set, and which is the decisive set, to see who actually takes the remaining point of this match.
Oh yes, I think the switch right there, KVC might not have noticed it. The switch on Tohaire and David going into that receiving attack. It seemed as if he stabilized finalize the pass, but it gave KVC now were looking for their person to serve to, but they could not see where he was. And then because we saw that the middle started to run well and Sharif started to set comfortable. So big up to Joel for managing to change that as well. So we have the stats here. I think this was a close one. We have police winning there mainly by opponent errors because the attacks are equal 15. The blocks KVC is topping in one ace save. I think that it was an ace save from Sharif right there. But on the opponent errors, there were quite a lot of opponent errors. And those opponent errors were mainly coming in as the net errors that we see coming in. Some from Bernard, some from Christopher, and some also coming in even from Jacob on that last point. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be going 5 sets. So let's see how the teams start because this is a shorter set. Teams have to go forward. Lineups coming in right there. Shafiq starting with the serve for team police. Atu Haire going on the opposite side. David staying with opponent on that outside. And then for team KBC, Martin is back on court as he started that. So is Bernard, but we see a change. Endra is out, and in for Endra is Smith Rukundo.
I think Rukundo, according to what he showed up in the previous set, gave the coach a thought to give him a chance to take up this set instead of Endra, because he's coming on in the fourth set, at least placed there. Okay, brought in an impact, like he's coming on brought in an impact in the fourth set, because they managed actually to close up a gap which was actually big,
Yes.
to kind of like, you know, similar as in relatively shorter gap.
Was jumping there with the middle, and Onapa will enjoy one jumping with the setter, one with the middle, and Onapa will enjoy that side out to get it there. But already police have set themselves up very well, getting that break point. So meaning they are the first team to get a side out. So it's working very well for them. Onapa choosing to go for a dump when they had an opportunity to get that side out point there. That's good positioning right there by Opolot. And again another. I think both these teams are doing a lot of this dumping game right there. And we're waiting for a side out, guys. It's going on too much. And oh no. Onapa has been blocked. That was a big mega rally. I didn't have the words to say. So yeah, that was a good rally. That was good concentration by block teams, especially team police concentrating on those blocks. And Smith is blocked as well. So that's a 3-point gap even with this shorter set. The score I think should be 4-1. Oh, the score is actually 3-1. So police setting themselves up very, very well by getting 2 blocks, which is quite an advantage. The pass is coming. It's the side outs that are not coming for team Kavc. Ace right there, I think that ball was going out. I think he lifted up his hands very high and were levels 3 apiece. Rafi Bachu, I agree with you. I think police has had some very good blocks, very good and crucial blocks, especially for a fifth set. That's very important for a team to have that kind of focus and to read that game that much. Atu Haire scoring that point for his team to give them a 1-point lead. That was a good time for them to get that, to score that point. But I think this is not his comfortable zone. I think maybe he's a player that they need on court. Because for me, his performance today hasn't really changed that much. Actually, David's performance is the one that has been better, considering that he was low, and when they changed him to outside, he played better. But Atu, he's really been low on both sides, you know, and because he's come in where they needed a lot of good points from him, but he couldn't deliver for his team.
Good pick from David here, who goes up and probably put it in the blocks of Onapa right there. And of course, according to his looks there, he seems to be a little bit disappointed because it was really a very nice pick from him. And however, he tried following it up, but it didn't go as planned.
And that gives Kavc a 1-point lead. Oh, and it's a good thing that we see people coming into the stadium, and those look like a Nemo fans right there. And Ayo will go hard, and the ball is on court. 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 So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, 6-4, Masaba will come in for Ezra, just probably to bring in that experience as well. We saw Team Police really challenge that point. However, unfortunately for Team Police, from here, that ball was on court. That ball was very much on court. I think maybe it was too fast for them to see. So KVC will take that point. And Martin goes down on defense right there. Big swing, very big swing from Atuhaire right there in the middle, committed. Good set from Sharif, and they get that side out. Innocent Ayo making easy light work of short man block right there, and going into the 6th position. But Police have really stamped their feet in this game, and they've said, you know what, we are not going anywhere. But the stadium is filling up. I'm not sure, Najib. I hope I would say the stadium is filling up for the next game. But in my head, I'm like, the stadium is filling up, and it's a good thing, man. It's going to be so good to watch. And the ball is out right there, and you can see the screams from Martin from KVC enjoying that one. Police need to just get themselves up again, encourage themselves up again. But I think there's been too many of those balls that have been given to Atuhaire, considering that he hasn't scored very well in this game.
I think Tyre currently, I think he has something hidden in there, which his coach actually sees in him. That's the reason to why I think that's the reason to why he has not been substituted in for another person. However much he's not, scoring, but at least he tries to be there. I think at least on defense and the offensive game probably. And we're up to a change of sides. However, KVC continues with a lead of 3 points. That is 8 points KVC and 5 points to Police.
Phoebe to Singwe, we see you. Thank you for watching. Saying let's go KBC. 8-5, 2 apiece on the scores. KBC has the lead on the set, but Police have been really also putting in a fight, a big fight. Side out there, David, who has been going very hard. And a double touch by Christopher, the middle right there. Reducing that point lead to 3.
Well, we're having a double substitution here. We are seeing Eli coming in for Sharif, and of course Odong coming in for David. That means Odong will be serving for David.
I feel like this might end up being confusing for them, because remember the setter is now in and that and got in for that opposite right there in the yes, it was a correct call. Christopher is the one who went onto that net right there, and 1 point lead it is. Some people are already predicting games, scores of a game that is way ahead. We still want predictions probably for this game, and then we get predictions for the Ndeje KCCA game, and then the Sporters game. But anyway, we see you, area Paula Ogwang. Thank you for watching. We will eventually get to that much awaited and anticipated game. Outside, ball taken to Ayo, and he gets that side out in 9-7. So yeah, it has led to a side out game, but I like how Police are being resilient in this game. Service pressure on, and it's a good pass, and that ball did not okay, it hit him twice. That says the referee there, and that is Masaba, who came in quick with that attack, and it was well read by Christopher. And KVC has managed to get a break point. Timeout, Coach Joel is going to call. So 10-7, it is the scores here. KVC with that advantage, but we have seen police really fight so hard for every point in their defenses, and we've seen really, I'm impressed also by the setting by Sharif today. I think he's really been just throwing all the sets up there. But also there are other people who are hardly celebrated. Banange, the liberos. What do you think of the libero from police?
Well, the Libel has actually stepped up. Actually, the balls have started reaching to the fact that even I think Sharif has started even to reuse the middle, which was quite off for some time. Or why is it? Because also they also substituted in Masaba for Ezra and I'm forgetting the name for Ezra and.
Igune.
Yeah, for Ezra and Igune. Thank you for that.
Yes. So that service sent out by Ayo after that timeout, and that means that's a good timeout call by the coach. Sent out there. Smith is picked up. It's gonna go again. And goes on it. The block thought we had blocked this guy enough. Yeah, I think the block should not have given up, honestly.
Well, actually, I think that was it seemed to be kind of like two off net, and they just probably opted for a cover from backcourt. However, the guy also showed them that he has some good wrist work on that, and he just gave it to them with some bit of energy.
Good substitution, I think, in my own view, considering that Adri can defend well and he can serve well. Let's hope KBC can capitalize on that service, but that's passed nicely. And
block shut down by we call him Red Banton actually.
Yes.
Out. yeah, he calls himself the Red Banton. So he has really he has really sparked out in these last sets, starting from the third set, fourth set, and this set. He has really brought up his game. Such a young talent on court.
But I'm so happy that KVC is really showing that trust in him. In all honest, I'm really so happy that they're like, you know what, he's our boy, and that's how young men develop. Touch. He had a good touch right there. That power from Opolot, obviously the ball going where the six was not really positioned very well. And you can see Sharif's sets today have been so beautiful. They've been so good. Apple of God's eyes saying, come on, boys. But I'm not sure which boys he's saying come on to. Okay, he's talking to KVC. Because I've heard to revisit his last comment. Smith going out on that ball. I think it's hanging too much on the A. And yes, they will take that point gladly. But I like the fact that Martin is relieving Onapa of that pressure. So definitely Smith has to score on that point. Point gap to a 1 point gap. KBC failing to get that side out. Martin having that error right there, even as he was confident about that set, and you can see everyone is moving. But I like that he's having a lighter moment about this, and the coach will call for a timeout. I do think that Smith really needs to give them that side out point, you know.
Yeah, of course, it's Smith now to come up and actually stand out and give the team this win, because if you look at Onapa, I think they have already I think police has already kind of like taken some notes about him. That's why I think actually even Martin reduced his budget now. He's now using Bernard and Smith. However, let us see what's in Martinez's head after that era. Has it affected him mentally, or he has? It has just kind of like
I think
hold
Martin
up.
is strong mentally. It's Sharif that I need to see how he's going to run his service. And he serves very well, actually. And I thought Martin was well mentally, but I don't think he is. Because he always runs those and they always never score for his teammates. And there we have it. I said it several times that police really needs this point. And we see, I don't think the pass was an issue, honestly, here. They've taken off the libero. I don't think the pass was an issue, honestly. And the ball is sent out by Smith right there. From 9, and they have 12. And I can see the scoreboard had changed to say 3-2. It's getting interesting. It's getting interesting. I mean, because all we have seen are errors. Police haven't really scored, by the way.
Yeah. Another block shut down.
I mean, it was obvious that he was going to go to Onapa at this point in time. Well done, police.
That is a Gune right there. A Gune managed to shut down.
To hire it right there. Interesting. That's what your sends that ball out, and it is a win for police coming down from. It is a win for police coming down from a 3-4 point lead, being led, and they take the set. What kind of resilience is this? And the Kavc loses this match 3-2. I think that was a good fight from police. That was a good fight. But also, that's where you go to see that in this game, there is no room for errors.
This is a well-deserved game for police. It being that they have managed actually to step up. Actually, they have confirmed their off and on game since they managed to cover up those 4 points that they were led by Kavc, and actually when they stepped on that gas, they didn't release. They just went straight up into the victory and taking up the extra point, making it 2 points for police and 1 point for Kavc in this game.
Yes, what a game. All right, there you have it. Attacks, 6 attacks from both teams. Police had very good blocks right there. I think they shut down Smith 2 times, but also the opponent errors they came in handy for police right there. And this wraps up this game, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for this entertaining game. Yeah, and someone says we're gonna die of happiness. I think it was well deserved. I mean, it's not over in volleyball until it's over. Great work, Coach Joel and team. I think today I saw that there were a full take because I saw Luke was there as well. There was Okello, Marvin. There was quite a lot of people on the police bench. While KVC, obviously, the coaches were also players. Thank you for joining us. We will be live streaming the next game in a few minutes. That is Ndeje versus KCCA men.